You know, there's this old saying, in any gold rush, the real winners aren't the ones digging for gold. Nope, it's the people who sell the picks and shovels. Well, right now, we are living through the biggest AI gold rush in history. And one founder figured out what the modern equivalent of that pick and shovel was and used it to build a genuine empire. His name is Alexandr Wang.
And when I say empire, I mean it. Just look at that number. Over $14 billion. That's the staggering valuation of Wang's company, Scale AI, after a recent investment. And with major partners, including the company Mark Zuckerberg runs, Wang has become one of the most pivotal, most powerful figures in all of tech.
So that's the big question, right? How on earth did a 19-year-old kid who didn't even finish his first year of college go on to build the company that is now the essential plumbing for the entire AI industry? All right, let's get into it. To really understand Alexandr Wang's strategy, which is frankly brilliant, you have to go back to where he came from. It was a place where changing the world wasn't some crazy dream. It was the local industry.
Wang grew up in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Yeah, the Los Alamos, the birthplace of the atomic bomb. Both of his parents were physicists working at the national lab there, so his entire childhood was just steeped in science. The parents of his friends were working on these huge cosmic-level problems. Growing up in the shadow of the Manhattan Project like that, it instills a pretty powerful idea in you. With technology, absolutely anything is possible.
And this kid was in a hurry. He actually left high school a year early to go work as a software engineer at Quora. Then he heads to MIT. But in March of 2016, something happens that just changes his entire trajectory. DeepMind's AI, AlphaGo, beats the world's best Go player. For Wang, this was like a lightning bolt. He realized AI wasn't some far-off future concept, it was happening right now. So what did he do? 2 months later, he drops out of MIT and gets on a plane to San Francisco. He was 19.
So he gets to Silicon Valley, and he starts looking around. And he notices something that pretty much everyone else was missing. While they were all chasing the same shiny objects, they were all getting stuck at the exact same point. He found the bottleneck.
Think back to that gold rush analogy. Everyone else was laser-focused on building fancier algorithms and getting more powerful computer chips, you know, the glamorous, flashy parts of AI. But Wang realized that all these powerful models were basically starving. They were totally useless without the one crucial ingredient they all needed: huge, massive amounts of high-quality, perfectly labeled data.
So this is the problem he decided to solve: data labeling. It's the incredibly painstaking, manual process of telling an AI what it's seeing. Literally drawing boxes around cars and thousands of images, transcribing audio, classifying text. This is the unglamorous, tedious, dirty work of AI. And it was the single biggest thing slowing the entire industry down.
Okay, so here's the thing. Having a great insight is one thing, but actually turning that insight into a multi-billion-dollar company that now powers giants like OpenAI and the US government? Well, that takes a whole other level of execution. Flawless execution.
Scale AI's growth was just brilliant, and it happened in 3 key steps. First, they totally dominated a niche that most investors actually thought was too small: self-driving cars. They solved a massive data headache for all the big players. Then, when generative AI just exploded onto the scene, they pivoted. They became the data foundry for the new titans like OpenAI. And finally, they started moving up the value chain, using all their data expertise to build custom AI applications for huge companies and even the Pentagon.
Wang himself said it perfectly. What worked before is not going to keep working. I mean, in the fastest-moving industry in human history, that ability to constantly reinvent yourself isn't just a nice-to-have. It's the only way to survive. And it's something Scale AI seems to have baked into its DNA from day one.
And all this reinvention has led Wang to a vision that goes way beyond just fixing today's data problems. He's now thinking about and actively shaping how all of us are going to work and create in a world that is just saturated with artificial intelligence.
At the very heart of this is one of Wang's core principles: ambition shapes reality. He believes that AI's real promise isn't just about automating stuff away. No, it's about acting as a force multiplier for our own creativity. A tool that helps us turn our ideas, our ambitions into reality way faster than we ever could before.
So, what does that actually mean for our jobs? Well, Wang has a pretty provocative take on it. He argues that we're not all being replaced. Instead, he says, everyone gets promoted to manager. But here's the twist. We're not going to be managing people. We're going to be managing swarms of AI agents.
So what does this new manager job actually look like? Well, your value completely shifts from doing the task to directing the task. You're not the one doing the work anymore. You're the one setting the vision. You're deploying the right team of AI agents for the job, and you're stepping in only when you have to either fix a problem or handle those really complex, nuanced situations that still need a human brain.
Now, this vision of an AI-powered future isn't just about boosting productivity in the office. It brings us to the highest stakes imaginable, a new global arms race. And this brings Alexandr Wang's story full circle, right back to that high-stakes scientific world of his childhood in Los Alamos.
According to Wang, this is basically the state of play right now. The US has a clear lead in designing the most advanced chips, the brains of AI. But China has a huge advantage when it comes to data, the fuel for AI, partly because of state control. And when it comes to the algorithms, the code itself, the two sides are basically neck and neck, with China proving to be incredibly quick to catch up. It is a dangerously close race.
And this is exactly why Wang believes the work he's doing is a matter of national security. As he said in a recent TED Talk, history shows us that the nation that can best integrate new tech into its defense capabilities is the one that wins. He sees no reason at all why AI would be any different.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really critical question. I mean, from a college dropout who just spotted a bottleneck to becoming a key player in a global tech arms race, Alexandr Wang's journey shows you the incredible power of a single focused idea. But as founders like him build the tools that will literally define our future, it forces all of us to ask, can technology, on its own, really secure the kind of world we actually want to live in?